Welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah. In the last video, I shared how we spent our day at White Sands National Park. In this video, we are visiting Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas. Our first stop was the William J. Clinton Presidential Library and Museum in Little Rock, Arkansas. So we just got into Little Rock and we're coming to visit the Clinton Library and Museum. The museum tells the story of the Clintons' presidency. There was so much to see in this museum. There's a presidential limousine, a replica of the cabinet room, and the Oval Office. You can also read all about his timeline as president. And what we found most interesting was that on the timeline boards on the second floor, they have binders of each month of the year that Clinton served as president. And these binders are Clinton's day-to-day schedule of his life as president itself. We were very interested to read what Bill Clinton was doing as president on the days that we were born. Definitely take some time to read some of these schedules. There are thousands of objects and also gifts from heads of states and even gifts from citizens that are displayed throughout this museum. There was even a setting displaying what the table would look like for a dinner at the White House. After we explored the museum, we stopped at Nexus, a local coffee shop in downtown Little Rock. We got an iced caramel vanilla latte and a regular latte, and they were both really good, and I definitely recommend visiting if you're looking for a good local coffee spot. We then started our drive to Hot Springs National Park, with a very quick stop to see the Arkansas State Capitol building. We just got to Hot Springs probably an hour ago. We came and checked into our hotel, we showered, we got ready. There's so many bugs out here. This is our view from our hotel. Lake. So we just got to Bathhouse Row here in Hot Springs. We're hoping to go to Superior Bathhouse. It looks really busy, so hopefully there's not a crazy wait time. After that, we're gonna go check out the mountain tower and probably the Promenade Trail. We did end up visiting Hot Springs during their spring break week in Arkansas, so it was a little busier than usual. Superior Bathhouse is a brewery that was actually an old bathhouse on Bathhouse Row. And it's the only place in the world that crafts beer from thermal spring water. It's the only brewery located inside of a national park, so it's pretty unique. Everything we tried was really good, and it's a must visit if you're planning to visit Hot Springs. We came in the Arlington Hotel to see what it looks like inside, and now we're about to go and walk on the street back on Bathhouse Row and probably do the Grand Promenade Trail. A little spooky in here. The Arlington Hotel is a very infamous spot, as Al Capone regularly booked stays here, as well as the Ohio Club, where Al Capone visited regularly during his visits to Hot Springs. Bathhouse Row consists of 8 bathhouses that we see today, that we'll talk about a little later in this video. So we just walked on Bathhouse Row. We went in all the bathhouses that were opened. The only one that's not open is the Florida's Bathhouse, which is actually the visitor center. We weren't able to go in there today. It's closed on Wednesday, surprisingly, but hopefully tomorrow we can come back and go check it out. We're actually about to do the Grand Promenade Trail. We can walk over here and see the display spring. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Oh, this is cool. Water's like standing in there. The Grand Promenade Trail is located behind Bathhouse Row, and is about 0.5 miles in one direction. The Grand Promenade is an entry point for many of the North Mountain trails, and you can also take the hike up to the mountain tower, which we didn't know prior to our visit. There's a few trails that lead off the Grand Promenade. They lead up to the observation tower. So we were trying to drive up there instead of hiking it all the way up. And we're just going to complete the Grand Promenade Trail and then go back to the car and drive up to the observation tower. We took the drive up the North Mountain Loop, which was a one-way, 3.5-mile loop that takes you to the Hot Springs Observation Tower and various trails along the mountain. We ended up not walking on the Grand Promenade because there were so many wasps up there. We just came to their observation tower. We're about to go up and see the view from the top. General admission was $14 for the observation tower, and it takes you up 216 feet and gives you panoramic views of hot springs. The vast scenery was breathtaking. So it's the next day. We're gonna go do the Garvan Woodland Gardens today. Our plan for the next day was to visit the Garvan Woodland Gardens. That's 20 minutes away from Hot Springs. General admission is $25, but if you purchase your ticket online, it's $20. This is another must visit in Arkansas. Oh my god, this is so pretty. We first visited Anthony's Chapel. Its vaulted glass windows and wooden structure resembles the outdoor surroundings of trees. It really feels magical. Keep in mind that they do have weddings here. When we went, they had a list of times during the week that the Anthony Chapel will be occupied for weddings. We visited right when the gardens opened, and we were lucky enough to visit when the chapel was pretty much empty. We then entered the botanical gardens itself. The gardens really do have a magical feel, and since we did visit during the middle of March, it was the middle of their tulip season, and their tulips were in full bloom. Currently in Garvan's Woodland Gardens. We did the Anthony Chapel first, which was really pretty, and then we did the tulip fields. There were so many different tulips, every different color. We took so many pictures, and I think I have so many videos from there too. But now we're going down this trail to get to the tree house that they have over here. One of the main attractions of the Woodland Gardens is a tree house located in the children's garden area. The architecture of the tree house was amazing. We explored the gardens for a little more, and then we headed back to Hot Springs. I think we're gonna go see the koi pond right now, and then we're gonna go drive to Bathhouse Row. We wanted to do a trail up in the mountain over there. We're about to start Goat Rock Trail, so I'll take you guys along. I'm just trying to put everything in the bag. They said to watch out for ticks, so we're not gonna go in the bushes too much. Hopefully we'll be fine. Goat Rock Trail is located on the North Mountain. There are two starting points to access Goat Rock. We started by the Overlook on the North Mountain. Taking this trail, it was about a 1-mile hike and took us about 30 minutes to hike to Goat Rock. What? Oh. That's not a wasp, that's a butterfly. Oh. Goat Rock up here. We made it to Goat Rock. We're just relaxing. That is Goat Rock over there. The bugs out here are crazy. I've seen a lot of people also saying there were ticks, so we tried to stay off the bushy part of the trail and stick to the gravel. We're about to start our hike back to the car, and I think most of it is going to be uphill, so it'll probably be a little challenging. There's a cold spring jug fountain located on the bottom of the North Mountain on Fountain Street. You're able to fill your water bottles with water from the spring itself, and it's at no cost, which was very nice after a long hike. We just had lunch at Deluca's, and now we're going to go to the visitor center, and we're going to go to Quapaw and see if there's a wait time. The visitor center for Hot Springs is located in the Fortis Bathhouse. It's unlike your typical visitor center, as it's a museum that showcases how the bathhouses look like when they were operational in the 1800s. There are 2 bathhouses that are still operational that guests are welcome to visit and book treatments at. Buckstaff Bathhouse is said to have more traditional practices, while Quapaw is said to have a more modern-day time experience. We just did the Fortis Bathhouse, which is basically the visitor center. Now we're going to the Lamar Bathhouse to get magnets, because that's where the gift shop is for this national park. So we're headed there right now, and then we're going to go to Quapaw. We just came out of the Quapaw Bathouse. We weren't allowed to take photos or videos, and we had to leave the phones in the locker. So I didn't really get anything from inside the pools, but it was so relaxing. I think we stayed in the coolest pool actually for a long time. The hot pool was enough to stay in for a little bit. We got really hot being in there, but it was a nice experience. It was so relaxing. I feel so light. We're just gonna sit around for a little bit, enjoy Bathhouse Row. We're probably gonna sit on a rocking chair up on one of the bathhouses, and then I think we're going to the West Mountain Trail for a little bit. I did want to add that there is a $20 fee to access the public pools, and you could stay there for however long you wanted to. You're able to try the 4 different temperatures of thermal spring water, rich in therapeutic minerals. Yeah, probably. And lastly, we decided to go to the West Mountain to watch the sunset. So it is day 3 on our trip. Our plan for today is to go to Mount Magazine. It's a 2-hour drive from Hot Springs. Yesterday we were so tired we didn't really do anything much after the West Mountain hike. For that hike we didn't go too far in just because there wasn't really anything we seen along the trail that we wanted to stop at, and the sun was setting as well. I think we did about 0.3 miles of that hike, and then we walked back and we sat on top of a rock to watch the sunset, and then we came back down, got food, and went back to our hotel and chilled for the rest of the day. But yeah, today we're leaving Hot Springs sadly, but it was an amazing trip, and actually today's pretty cloudy, so I'm happy that both days that we were there it was sunny. We stopped at the Ron Coleman's crystal mine on the drive to Mount Magazine State Park, and we were planning to do the crystal mining experience that they offer. However, the weather had other plans. They say that the rain makes for better mining conditions, as the rain washes most of the dirt away and you're able to find the crystals more easily. However, we still decided not to do the crystal mining since we didn't want to head to Mount Magazine really muddy. With that being said, we were headed to Mount Magazine State Park. The drive to Mount Magazine is about a 2-hour, 75-mile drive that takes you through the Mount Magazine Scenic Byway and the Ozark National Forest. As soon as we got to the state park sign, the views instantly blew us away. Mount Magazine is the highest point in Arkansas at 2,753 feet. We made it to Mount Magazine State Park. I had to go get my sweater in the car because it was pretty chilly out here. But the view is amazing. It's definitely worth the drive up here. There are so many scenic overlooks, trails, picnic areas, and so much other things to do here. Unfortunately, the day that we went, it was cloudy and windy. Although the view was very much hazy, it was still very beautiful, and I can't imagine how much more beautiful it will look on a very clear and sunny day.
Made it up here on the cliff, bro.
The sun finally came out a little bit, but we came out to another lookout. The lodge at Mount Magazine offers a great place to stay if you're wanting to stay up in the mountains. We visited the Skycrest Restaurant at the lodge for a late lunch before leaving, and we got a nice window seat with a view. We chose the option on the menu to make our own pasta, and we really did enjoy it. guys, it's the next morning. It's really cloudy today. We're about to get coffee and then go to Petite State Park to see Cedar Falls. We stopped at the Natural State Coffee Roasters. I got the Scarecrow iced coffee, which was really good, and I would definitely recommend checking them out if you're in the town of Russellville. So we just got to Petite State Park, and we're gonna go take pictures of the sign, but let me show you guys. This is so beautiful. The trail that heads down to Cedar Falls is located at Mather's Lodge. But first, we decided to do the Cedar Falls Overlook, which looking back at it was a good idea to do first because you get a glimpse of the falls from above before heading down to it. So we're currently on the Cedar Falls Overlook trail. You can see the falls from the top, and then I guess the trail that leads down to the bottom of the falls, it starts at the lodge, so we're going to drive up there to go to the bottom. It's raining outside, so all the trails are pretty slippery and wet. We're walking along the Overlook. There's like another trail that leads off, I guess for another view of the falls, but there's a lot of rocks, and since I said it's raining, it's very slippery, so I'm taking my time. There's like a lot of pools of water in the rocks as well. It's a little tricky to get around them. I don't think it's going to get crazy sunny or anything, but at least a little sun. Oops, I just stepped in a big puddle. It's definitely really buggy out here, so if you come out here, bring bug spray. We didn't, so we gotta suck it up. Trailhead is located right outside Mather Lodge, so we're just using the restrooms and we're about to head out there. As the sign says, the trail is strenuous and very rocky. I think what makes it strenuous, in my opinion, is the rocks. The trail starts off with a rocky decline, and since we went on a somewhat rainy day, it made it harder for us as the rocks were very wet when it was slippery. I had to put away my camera for the entirety of the way down. This part of the trail is getting pretty nice. We're walking alongside the river that comes from the falls. I'll try to show you guys when I get up there. I think we're getting pretty close to the falls because it's getting louder. Maybe it's around that corner. You think so?
Maybe.
And as you turn around the bend, there was Cedar Falls. The falls is 95 feet tall, and looking at it from the bottom, it really looks so much taller than it did from the Overlook. It was truly beautiful, and it was the perfect way to end our trip to Arkansas. We made it to Cedar Falls. So we're starting our hike back up to the trailhead. The hardest part on the hike down is to get down to the river. Right now, there's some parts where it's just like this, so this is a little easier. There's parts of the trail that has like tree roots and a lot of rocks, so it does get a little harder to go on these. And see, like a big rock like this, it gets slippery. There's also this part of the trail that has a little water. The hardest part of the hike is about to start going uphill, so I'm gonna put my camera away and we'll see you guys at the top. We checked out the visitor center, and then we were off to the airport, and that was all we did for our trip to Arkansas. There is so much to do in this beautiful and vast state, and there were so much more beautiful things to explore that we didn't get the chance to see. Thank you for watching our trip to Arkansas, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss where we're headed to next.